It was 2015, and Canelo was still licking his wounds from his only career loss to Floyd Mayweather. Many thought he'd slow down, maybe even hesitate to face another dangerous puncher. But then came James Kirkland, the self-proclaimed Mandingo Warrior. Kirkland was a wild man with 28 knockouts in 33 fights and a reputation for chaos inside and outside the ring. He talked tough, claiming he wanted to smell Canelo's breath and make it a war. What he didn't realize was that he was stepping into the lion's den where arrogance meets retribution. When the bell rang, Canelo didn't waste a second. He toyed with Kirkland like a predator studying its prey, launching precision punches that landed with surgical brutality. Kirkland came forward, reckless and raging, but Canelo's timing was immaculate. A thundering right hand sent the Mandingo Warrior collapsing to the canvas, eyes empty, body lifeless. The crowd roared as Canelo stood over him, calm as death. That knockout would go on to be named KO of the Year, and Kirkland learned the hard way that you don't mock the Mexican king, but this was far from the first time Canelo had faced a mouthy opponent who didn't know when to stop talking. In 2009, a young Alvarez met Leonardo Tyner, a street brawler with a bad attitude and a worse temper. Tyner taunted the teenage Canelo before their fight, bragging about his street fights and claiming no one could touch him. But when the first bell rang, his swagger evaporated. The kid from Guadalajara, fiery and fearless, exploded with relentless aggression. Tyner tried to play dirty, landing sneaky shots and talking trash mid-fight. That was his last mistake. Canelo unleashed pure fury, cornering him with blistering combinations that left the crowd in awe. By the final bell, the street legend was reduced to a humbled shadow of himself, barely standing, as Canelo had proven that raw skill and heart would always triumph over empty bravado. Fast forward to 2021, when Billy Joe Saunders, unbeaten, brash, and British decided to test the same fate. With 30 wins and 0 losses, Saunders thought he'd be the man to dethrone Canelo. He mocked him in interviews, calling him a ginger and predicting an easy night. But arrogance is the prelude to destruction. From the opening round, Canelo hunted Saunders with calm precision, waiting for his moment. Saunders smiled, stuck out his tongue, and taunted. But when Canelo launched a savage uppercut, it shattered his orbital bone, ending the fight instantly. The Englishman's bravado turned to silence as his corner threw in the towel. That night, Canelo didn't just win a belt, he collected another soul. Then came Sergei Crusher Kovalev in 2019, a towering Russian powerhouse, a destroyer of legends. Kovalev had beaten Bernard Hopkins and built his name on breaking opponents with sheer brutality. When Canelo, much smaller and fighting 2 weight classes above his natural division, agreed to face him, the world thought it was suicide. Kovalev mocked him before the fight, calling him too small and promising to crush him. For the first half of the bout, it seemed he might be right. Kovalev's jab was sharp, his reach dominant, and Canelo struggled to close the distance. But champions don't fold, they adapt. Round by round, Canelo studied him, adjusted, and then struck like lightning. In the 11th round, a single right hand from Canelo detonated on Kovalev's jaw, sending him crashing down cold. The giant fell and the crowd erupted. Canelo Alvarez had just jumped 2 weight classes to knock out one of boxing's most feared men. But one of Canelo's sweetest victories came in 2013 against the undefeated Austin, Trout. Trout had dismissed Canelo as not on his level, vowing to embarrass him. Yet once again, the ring told a different story. From the first bell, Canelo's counterpunching was poetry in motion, fast, sharp, and surgical. Trout's flashy words faded as his face began to swell. Every time he tried to land, Canelo was gone. And when he finally stayed put, it was only to deliver punishment. A devastating right hand sent Trout stumbling, forcing him into survival mode. By the end, the judges had no doubt. Canelo was the better man. Another loudmouth silenced. In 2019, Daniel Jacobs joined the growing list of fighters who underestimated Alvarez. Confident and bold, Jacobs declared before the fight that he would hurt Canelo and embarrass him. But once again, Canelo's composure and power told the story. He slipped punches like a matador dodging a bull, making Jacobs swing at ghosts. Every jab, every body shot was a statement of control. As the rounds went on, Canelo's dominance became absolute. When the final bell rang, Jacobs' swagger was gone, replaced by quiet resignation. Canelo had outclassed, outsmarted, and outfought him, adding yet another belt to his growing empire. Each of these battles paints the portrait of a man who refuses to be disrespected. Saul Canelo Alvarez isn't just a fighter. He's a force of nature, a craftsman of controlled violence who demands respect inside the ring. Every opponent who's mocked him has left broken, humbled, or worse. From the early days as a teenage prodigy to his current reign as one of the greatest boxers alive, Canelo has carried the pride of Mexico on his shoulders, never backing down, never losing control. He's faced cheaters, loudmouths, and bullies, and every time he's answered with his fists, reminding the world that talk means nothing when the bell rings. Canelo's story isn't just about victory. It's about discipline, patience, and vengeance disguised as art. Each punch he throws is deliberate, precise, and personal. He fights not only for legacy, but to defend the sanctity of boxing itself from the noise of ego and hype. When his gloves touch skin, you're not watching a brawl, you're watching poetry written in pain. Now the question remains, who's next? Who will step into the fire, thinking they can humble a man who's humbled everyone else? Canelo doesn't chase fame, he creates it one knockout at a time. His journey through disrespect, doubt, and dominance has become a masterclass in retribution. A reminder that no matter how loud you talk, the ring never lies. So what do you think? Has Canelo Alvarez cemented his place as one of the greatest boxers of all time? Or is there still someone out there capable of taking his crown? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love witnessing stories of power, pride, and redemption like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive into the world of boxing legends.